Hi, diddle diddle. What's going on, everybody? My name's Big B, and I am back today with a Teen Titans Episode 6 review. We're going to try to keep this as quick and short as possible. I apologize for the last video. I know I was bouncing around a lot. I was trying to recap 5 episodes in, as short a time as I could, and unfortunately, it got a little crazy. I kept backtracking, jumping all around. I'm very sorry for that. This is just mainly Episode 6. Going to try to run through it as best as we can, as quick as we can, and hopefully get through it. I'm going to touch on the main points. I'm going to touch on what I think's going on. I'm going to touch on, a crazy idea in which I have. I'm going to, obviously refer to things, but I'm not really going to get too deep into the things that aren't as important. I'm going to mainly touch on the main stuff, try to keep it as short as possible. With that being said, let's get into it. So the show starts off in a diner. It shows this young woman there with white hair playing with knives. Then it shows these two cops. These two cops are talking. They're in love. They're together. Yada, yada, yada. The two cops go back to the car to start their patrol, and the car doesn't start. Pop the hood. Battery's cut. Out of nowhere, knife goes through the first cop, and then the second cop gets another knife in her. The cop who was in the car gets out. She gets a knife thrown into her. Then she gets stabbed and killed. And then it shows that character, the girl in the white hair, who did all this, driving into Gotham. Then it cuts to a Starfire and Blackfire scene where she brings her into the home. And I know last video I said, oh, this Blackfire Starfire thing's going nowhere. That came back and bit me right in the butt. Sure enough, she brings her into the home. Superboy's there at the time. Blackfire's making all types of insinuations and innuendos and things of that nature towards him, and pretty much calling him like manservant and things like that. And Corey's trying to explain to Blackfire, listen, this isn't how things work down here. We're family, we're this, we're that. And, pretty much she said she could stay here, but wherever she goes, she's going to keep an eye on her. She doesn't trust her, just didn't want to throw her out on the street until she figures out what to do with her. After that, it cuts to a flashback between Barbara and Dick, where they're on her bed and they look like they're, pretty much about to sleep together. And then he's bleeding out of nowhere. He wakes up in present day because he got shot 2 episodes ago with a bullet hole in his arm, or pretty much right in his chest, like right above here. And he is, like, damn it. And he realizes what's going on. He goes down to the Batcave. Corey and Gar are down there. And he, gets stitched up. Corey stitches him up and pretty much says, hey, I gotta find Red Hood or Scarecrow, yada, yada, yada. And Corey's like, well, who did that to you? He says, Barbara Gordon. And she's like, is she on our side? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm sure she didn't mean it. And then, sure enough, Gar starts talking about Red Hood, and this is an interesting thing. Gar gets really angry and starts to turn to another animal. It looks like he was about to turn into a gorilla, and I'm hoping that's what it is. I'm hoping they're debuting a new animal for him. I'm sure the CGI is expensive, but it would be really cool to see Gar as a new animal. Sure enough, before Jason leaves, Corey says, hey, I got to talk to you about something. He says, is it Red Hood or Scarecrow? And she's like, no. He's like, then I'll find it. Then we'll talk about it later. And he leaves. After that, cuts to Scarecrow, Red Hood, and they're in the lab. And Jason Todd's talking about how Red Hood's like, hey, I want to release the drug now. And Scarecrow's like, it's not ready yet. And Jason Todd's pushing. He's like, oh, without me, this operation doesn't run. And he's like, I get it. And Scarecrow replies with, I get it. You want a little more light shed on the plan. Come with me. They go to a hospital where craniotomy is being performed. And he's like, oh, I used to come here all the time when I was in school, blah, 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 blah. As they're about to start the craniotomy, they're behind that glass where they can't see. That character from the diner comes in and slaughters everybody, kills everyone, except for the person who has to get the craniotomy done, leaves that person alive, kills everybody and takes the machine that was going to be used during the craniotomy. After that, Scarecrow looks at Red Hood and says, you see, you're not the only player in town, or call that player number 2, you're expendable. Pretty much telling Jason Todd that this was his plan all along, he used him for information, and that he doesn't really need him. And Corey and Dick, after that, try to go to the crime scene. Cop tells them, you guys aren't allowed. Commissioner Gordon's orders. Corey says, you need to fix this. Dick, on the next scene, goes to GCPD, talks to Barbara. They start bickering back and forth, and pretty much he says to her, listen, we need to be on the same side, same team. She agrees. Whatever the case may be, full transparency. And Dick asked, hey, were the cameras, anything like that? Barbara's like, oh, they were all cut. This is now all we got are the audio files. And he's like, can I get them? And she's like, no. And he's like, okay. He leaves. Comes back. It cuts to Starfire, Blackfire, and Superboy going to try to find this doctor with the machine. They end up finding her. She has the same bomb in her heart that Hank had. And she's got 15 beats left. Superboy runs in, figures out how to use a diffuser, puts it in. Sure enough, boom, they stop her from dying. And then when they come back out to the car, Blackfire's gone. And Corey gets really upset. Again, that's really just more or less what happened there. And then really at the end of the episode, Blackfire turns back up in the mansion and says that she did some digging and found some information for her. That's really it for the Starfire Blackfire aspect of it. Now kind of back to the Barbara and Dick. Throughout the whole episode, it bounces back and forth between flashbacks and present day, between both of them remembering things of how they were together, how they, did a bunch of things, and, how they pretty much became an item and they slept together and yada, yada, yada. That really doesn't come too much into play until afterwards. After that, Dick goes to Gar. I got to get those audio files. Gar's in the Batcave directing him through the tunnel. Gar's still mad at him. Dick's going through the tunnel. Him and Gar are talking. Gar asks him, are you going to kill Jason? Dick's exact response is, I'm trying really hard not to. Sure enough, he gets to the room, gets the audio records. They get out of there. And then a really cool scene happens where it shows Nightwing in the Batcave, and he's like, oh, me and Bruce used to do this all the time. It's my audio training. Learn the room, learn how to be a detective through audio files. So he sits down, plays back the entire audio of the room of everybody dying and things like that, and tells Gar to recreate the slices and things like that. And in his mind, this is probably the most badass moment of the entire episode. Nightwing recreates the entire killing scene of what happened, who died where, how they died, exactly where they were cut, how it's really cool because it goes through the entire scene. He does that all just from audio and telling Gar to slice. At the end of all that, he goes, I know who our killer is, 5'6", I know exactly who it is. Shows a flashback of Dick and Barbara together and of a thief that breaks into this place. Pretty much her and her boyfriend there taking on Dick and Barbara. Chick throws a knife, kills her boyfriend, very upset. Her name's Lady Vic. I completely forgot about this character. I really did. Lady Vic was a character I completely forgot about. Really cool. I even had to go look her up, and I was like, oh, that's right, this character's there. So I really like how they're incorporating that. She has a thing out for Barbara. After that, after Dick figures out who it is, Barbara gets a call on the bat phone, which was red, which was really cool because that's kind of a nod to the 1960s Batman. The red phone. I thought that was pretty cool. And it's Bruce. It's his voice, and he's like, Barbara, it's Bruce. Go to where it all began and don't tell Dick. So Barbara shows up in her wheelchair after that to the place where Bruce's parents were killed. I'm pretty sure that's where it all began. It looked like that. And she finds a recording there. With that recording, Lady Vic comes down, tries to kill Barbara. Barbara becomes total badass. She pulls out a gun, doesn't work. When Lady Vic hits it away, she has 2 charisma sticks, but not like Nightwing's, just regular batons. In her wheelchair, they have a fight with Barbara in her wheelchair. It was really cool. Really well done. Both actresses did a great job, even stunt doubles, everybody. At the end of the fight, Lady Vic flashes Barbara in the eyes, throws down this thing, and gets away. Pretty much she was trying to kill her, couldn't, and then cuts back to a scene with Dick because she realizes she messed up. Dick was trying to get in touch with her the whole time, hey, listen, I know who it is, Lady Vic, watch out. Point is, they get together, talk, and they're like, damn it, The interesting thing about it all is that I want to say the second to last scene, Lady Vic comes up to Scarecrow. He's working in the lab, and he's like, "Is she dead?" He's like, "Bitch, still got some moves." But he's like, "Oh, but I got it though," and shows a picture of Barbara's face. Earlier in the episode, Dick mentioned Oracle, and it was like in slight passing, and she was like, "Oh, I don't want to use it." I think that's what Scarecrow's going after, so that's what he needs the picture for. But we'll get into that in a couple minutes. Pretty much to wrap up the episode, the next scene shows Jason Todd getting mad, taking the drugs, going out there, and pretty much selling it, making guy go fearless. They go into Tim Drake's parent shop, who I was in a few episodes ago. Go in there, the noodle shop, shoot his dad, and pretty much that's going to be kind of the beginnings of Tim Drake. They kind of set that story arc for him to be the next Robin, I guess you could say. And pretty much after that, it kind of cuts off. But you can see after the shooting that Jason is really messed up, and Jason, like, he's not comfortable with what's going on. So I kind of feel that's like how they're changing that character to become like that vigilante Red Hood, where he'll still kill criminals, but now he's starting to become that good guy again. And then at the end, he takes the fear toxin to kind of get rid of it and take it away. But you can see he's just not comfortable with what's going on. Pretty much that's kind of how the episode ends. Again, go back, watch the episode, please. It's greatly done. It's on Thursdays. New episodes come out on HBO Max. So back to the Scarecrow and Oracle thing. They really go into deep. I love this alliteration of Scarecrow, but they really go into deep clues about Scarecrow's plans, about Scarecrow's, you could see that he has a much larger plan. He's been planning this for a long time, and he really is, like, he's thought this all out, and he's trying to take over Gotham insanely. Like, he is definitely a lot smarter than he's portraying. He's not that dumb stoner. With that being said, I have a crazy theory. My crazy theory is that Scarecrow could possibly be getting influenced by the Joker. And this is a really, like I said, far out there theory. What if when he was in Arkham and he was locked up, Harley Quinn, through the Joker, was feeding Scarecrow through the marijuana, all those drugs, everything, trying to get him to go crazy, take over Gotham, and then kind of introduced the whole Robin idea and killed Robin to send Batman over the edge. Crazy little theory I have. We'll see how it happens. Again, that's all I got for now. If you got any comments, please leave them down below. If you got any, things that you want to add, I know there's things I left out and things of that nature. Like I said, these are the main points. And again, every Saturday I'll be putting these videos out. And until next time, see you.